Backing was terrible. I did terrible on the backing. I sure enough thought they were going to send me home and be like, that's it. And I found out they were retesting people. Some people had to retest the pre-CDL. And I'm looking like, y'all don't want me to pretest? Y'all don't want me to retest? And some of the guys, they would look at me, they'd be like, what's your problem? Why you out there messing up? And I'm like, guys, welcome back to the Brandon Brews channel. I am Brandon. And today, I just want to sit down and give you a summary of the Roehl Transport GYCDL, Get Your CDL program that I just completed. I want to give my overview of phase 1. I am currently at home awaiting for that phone call that you get to get your trainer. I told them Thursday and today's Monday. So we'll see what happens. But I want to give you a breakdown of the overview and my views on how phase 1, the 3-week program went. Stay tuned. Let's do it. So I got some other videos. I tried my best to record as much as I could record while I was in the program. Let me just say it's an experience. It is an experience. Me, like you could see my other videos, I come from a background of, I guess you could just say strict white collar, sort of like a tech support situation. I was a contractor for the government, and that's what I did. I worked from home. So this is completely different. This is something different. And that's not to say that I've never had jobs that I worked in. I've drove a forklift before. I've loaded a trailer before. So I think I'm well-rounded. But keep in mind, like, if you are interested in this program, in this company, that it is an accelerated program, meaning everything is quick. They expect you to, as much as you are there, let me dial it back. Let me start from the beginning. So you are there for 3 weeks, 6 days from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you take a 30-minute lunch, and that's at 12. And then you are on Saturday, there's a class from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So that's 6 days a week. The only day you're not having to come there is Sunday. And then you get back to Monday and you're back in motion. So first week, let's talk about first week. I think I even did a video about the first day. You can see that I'm going to combine them. I'm combining them, and you'll get this video at the end once all those are uploaded. But it's fresh in my mind now, and I was like, let me sit down and record this before I forget some of the details. So first day, first week. First day was simple. You did a lot of onboarding. You're going to do your I-9s, your tax papers, all of that good stuff. We even did our IDs. They give you a badge so you can have access to get to the terminal. This was the Gary area Chicago terminal that they say. It's located in Gary. It's off Klein and 15th Avenue. And for me, I think I said it in a previous video, but for me, it just worked out better. I live in Gary. I live about 12 minutes away. And for me to have to do training for 3 weeks and can go home every day, that was like a perk for me. So, and plus, it's just me and my dog. So I was able to get my mom to come over, make sure, check on him, make sure he was good. So it worked out. It's best for me to do it that way than me having to go somewhere for 3 weeks and I'm gone. So first day, you're in the classroom doing your onboarding stuff, and they kind of scare you. They, but I won't say scare you, but they just make you aware. They make you aware that you are an employee. So the training and the things that they're going to teach you is on the job training. It's not a trucking school. Now, yeah, in my previous videos, I did title I'm in trucking school. I'm in trucking school because it's just weird to explain it and be like, oh, I'm on the job training. And then I did see how people were, like, people that I would talk to about it, they'd be like, oh, how's trucking school? Oh, what company you going with? And so now I had to break it to them like, oh, yeah, I'm already with a company. The company provided this program, this accelerated program, you get your CDL, blah, blah, blah. So now I understand what they meant by that. So that's how day one was like very dragged out. I was so over it. It was just like, cause you just sat down and then it was a lot of sitting. And I was like in emotion, ready to go. Let me give you some things that you should know about the program. So your recruiter or advertising people, when they approach you, they're telling you about the program. They're telling you that it is a paid training. It's going to be for 3 weeks. Let's talk about it. So if you are going to get into this program, you best to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. What I mean by that, you are not going to get paid until the 3rd week that you're there. So if you're thinking about in your head, like, oh, we getting paid every week, boom, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. No. That's not how it goes. They are going to give you your first check that 3rd week. And that's probably the week that you are about to go take the test. So keep in mind that you need to put all your things, get all. Let me just break it to you. Like, if you are right now in the middle of, let's say, since you moved home, you're with your mom, with your dad, with an auntie, with a brother, and you're not having to pay rent, you're not having to pay a mortgage, you're not having to do any of those things right now, then this is probably the best solution for you to do because you don't have overhead. Now, if you got overhead, make sure if you're going to go this route and you're going to get into this program that you put all those things in order. How I know that? Because I just did it. So I had a few things lined up. I quit my job. I knew I had a few more checks coming and all of that. And then I had some money saved. Mind you, I have a mortgage. I have a car note. I have bills. I have overhead. And like, it's tough when you're in this program thinking you're going to get a check when you complete your week. And then there's another week. Then there's another week. But no income. It's just like, wait, what? Hold up. And then you're there from 7 to 5. 7 to 5. After that, you ain't doing nothing else. There's nothing else you want to do but go to sleep. And that's exactly what I did. But just keep that in mind. Like, if you're married, you got a spouse, make sure you run this to them. Be like, hey, how you feel about paying the bills for the month or in a month? I say almost 2 months because I even found out going into phase 2 that they hold your pay for 2 weeks. So phase 2 is like, I think 3, it could be 3 to 6 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks. I'm looking on the 3 weeks. I need it to be just 3 weeks for me because like I'm on my own truck. I'm ready to do this. And I understand you need the training and all, but I don't want to be gone 5 weeks with a stranger or trainer or whatever. And then, like I said, I have a whole house. I have my dog. It's just like, it's a lot all at once. And I'm like, and then y'all not paying me until the 2nd week that I'm out here. Like, that's a lot. I need to go home. I need to do my side hustles or something. So you really have to be secure. So make sure you ask your spouse, say, hey, can you handle this? Can you hold me down? Or not only that, make sure you save before you quit your job, before you quit your side hustles. Make sure you can pay your mortgage or your rent for the next few months, at least 2 or 3, until you can get out of this training and get on your own. So let's talk about phase 1. Phase 1 was 3 weeks. Phase 2 is going to be about 3-4 weeks. And then phase 3 is another 3-4 weeks. Phase 3 is when they give you your own truck and you're on your own and you're going to be working close with a fleet training manager that's going to assist you and make sure that you're hitting your marks just to see, hey. And then in between, I believe you still have to do some testing. You have to come back to a range. They're going to make sure how you're backing. They're going to check on your backing. I've seen it happen. Like when we were on the range is the area where you train at. Our training terminal had gravel. I don't know if all of them are like that, but it had gravel. So you backed up in dirt and you backed up in dirt and rocks all day. So, and that's another thing. It can be dirty. So, and they tell you that on day 1. After classroom, we were in the classroom for 2 days. We did a simulator on the 2nd day. After that, we were outside. Can you tell? Like, I have a tan, y'all. I'm not the lightest person, but I'm not the darkest, but you clearly see the two-tone. Like, I got a tan. I remember I had my hair braided. My hair is braided now. I had my hair braided, and I had to take them braids out because I needed my hair to breathe and to cover my scalp. So it was an experience. So you're outside basically from 7 to 5. You come in for lunch, get your food, whatever. But you're outside because the truck is outside. And you're having to learn everything on the truck. Your pre-trip is consisting of you pointing all of the components out, even in the engine. You're having to know and inspect those things. And that is what the BMV is going to be asking and looking for as well. They want to know that you know these parts and that you know this truck. So we had to be outside rehearsing and reciting that. And then when we started driving, we started doing right-hand turns and left-hand turns in the range. And then you started doing backing. Everything is fast. Like, let me say it's accelerated again. So don't think like it's going to be a minute before you get in the truck. No, I think we were in the truck driving, doing turns maybe on the 3rd or 4th day. By the Friday of the first week, you need to know like 2 parts of the pre-trip. They test you on it. Like they come around with a clipboard to make sure you know. And I think they do that to make sure that you're on schedule, but not only that, to make sure you're a good fit for the program. Because after the first week, if you can't keep up, then that's it. I remember one of the guys saying, you guys who are at home, you probably have it harder than the guys that's in the hotel. And I'm like, nah, I don't got it hard. But some of the guys struggled in the hotel. Like when they left the terminal, they didn't go back and study or whatever. Some went out, some went to sleep. And it was just like, like I say, it is an experience. It is an experience. People who probably will not have a problem are people that was in military, Navy. If those people, because I mean they're used to the boot camp type of situation, because that's kind of what it is. That's really what it was. So don't think it's gonna be pretty. And if it's raining outside, you're gonna still be outside. You might be in the truck, but be prepared. Have an umbrella, have a poncho, have a raincoat, have some boots. Do not come out there with your forces on. Don't come out there in your Jordans. Come out there in some old shoes, but make sure they can take some water and dirt. Like be prepared for your stuff to be dusty. Be prepared for you to smell like you've been outside. Get you some good deodorant. Cause it's summertime. Here it's summertime. It was like 90 degrees outside. So you just have to be prepared for that. But not only that, like be open to learn. Don't let those things frustrate you. Like get the knowledge. Get as much knowledge for this. Something's in my eye. Ooh. Get as much knowledge. Ooh, I know what that was. Get as much knowledge as you can. So let me go back. So yeah, week one is kind of brutal. Week 2, you're kind of in the swing of things because you know how everything goes. Let's talk about the instructors. Instructors are very, very well knowledgeable. If you want to know something, you will find out. What I will say is don't hold back on talking. And if you have questions, don't sit there and be the person thinking like, I don't want to raise my hand. No, raise your hand. I'm most of my time in college and school, I didn't have a problem sitting in the front, and I sit in the front because first of all, I want the instructor to know who I am, but not only that, if I'm not understanding this, I'm about to ask a question. So the instructors were very knowledgeable. I did like hearing the stories of the older truckers. They had tons of stories to tell you about experiences about being on the road, being away from home long. And that's another thing I just want to point out. Like, make sure that you know how you just jump into something and you just kind of like pull the trigger and you can pull the trigger too fast. Like, just weigh it out. Like for me, like I said, I don't have. My mom is here. My aunt lives with her. Like she's good. Like she's fine on her own. But not only that, we communicate via phone, FaceTime, and that's it. And she's gonna have my dog, so I don't have any. So I feel like I'm a perfect candidate to be out doing something like this. But not only that, I'm gonna be regional. I'll be home every weekend. And not only that, I'm thinking I want to relocate. I've been saying that for a long time. That's one of my goals this year. And I'm like, if I'm out enough, I think I'm gonna just figure out where I want to go, and I'm gonna just get up out of here. But going back to the program. So week 1 consists of you learning your pre-trip and getting acquainted with the truck. I think by Friday of that week, we did take a pre-trip test, and then I actually believe we drove out on the road. We went outside the terminal and drove on the street. It's like day by day, they give you bigger things to do. We had the luxury, my group had the luxury of having 3 instructors. First instructor, they moved to another group after the first week, and then we got this other guy, and he was cool. He was older experienced, and yeah, all the instructors were really good. And then he missed a day, and we had another instructor. So there's tons of instructors. They're full of knowledge. Like I said, like if you got a question, if you don't understand anything, they will help you. So week 2 consisted of, I think in the middle of week 2, they do a pre-CDL test. And what that is, they test you on everything that you're going to be tested on at the BMV. So you're going to be tested on your pre-trip, you're going to be tested on your backing, and you're going to be tested on your driving. So I'm going to be honest and transparent. Like, I felt like a big kid when I was driving this truck. But not only that, I've always had a love for trucks and big things like that. Buses. I have a simulator bus on PlayStation, and I always like that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I got down pat was the driving. I could drive. I could make right turns, left turns. I didn't have a braking problem. I had no problem. But my problem consisted of backing. So the first week we learned straight line backing. Straight line backing for me was actually easy. I was like, oh, this is how it go. Okay. And then we switched instructors, and I started messing up. I'm like, how did I mess up? Like, and then I start overthinking, and I'm like, then I turn left goes this way, right goes that way. Like, it got confusing. And for a couple of days, it got bad. Like, that second week, it was bad. Like, every time I was backing, I never hit anything, but I was going straight forward. And I was just like, how in the world? So I got in my head, I was overthinking and trying to fix it. And I'm the kind of person, I'm like, let me figure it out first before you instruct me. And my instructor, he was quick to like tell you, oh, do this, do that. And I'm like, I want to figure it out. So what happened was, it was that Friday, I think he was out, and we had the third instructor. And the third instructor, because I was feeling like I just needed more time to be behind the wheel. I just needed a little bit more time to for this to click. And that third instructor, when I tell you God has been in this, because I even prayed about it. I was like, dang, that's the only thing I'm messing up is the backing. I told God, I said, I just need a little bit more time. And that was like a Thursday. I was praying on that. Friday, we had this other instructor. And the first thing came out his mouth, he said, well, this is what I do. I give you about 30 minutes to work on backing. He said, I'm going to have you straight back. I'm going to have you offset. I'm going to have you parallel park on the left side. And then I'm going to have you reset yourself and do it on the opposite side. And that's about 25 to 30 minutes worth of driving time. And I said, look here. Look at God. Look at God putting it in place. So when I did it that day, I figured out where my mishaps were. Like, there's a few maneuvers that you have to do when you're starting out. That's how they teach you or whatever. When you get on your own, you can kind of get your own, like, this is how I do it. It's still the same thing, but this is how I do it. But of course, when you're learning and they're teaching you something for the first time, there's a standard. Hey, this is how we're gonna teach everybody. So after that Friday, I got it. Next week came, the weekend came, and I was just almost there having it. It still was a little iffy. Straight line was fine. Offset was shaky, but parallel was just like, it's a hit or miss. And so then we have the CDL pretest comes. Pre-trip is fine. Backing was terrible. I did terrible on the backing. I sure enough thought they was gonna send me home and be like, that's it. And I found out they were retesting people. Some people had to retest this pre-CDL. And I'm looking like, y'all don't want me to pre-test? Y'all don't want me to retest? And some of the guys, they would look at me, they'd be like, what's your problem? Why you out there messing up? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, it was that kind of situation. So after that, we did it some more. And each day it got better. It got better. When it got time to do the test, it was perfect. I nailed that parallel parking on my test at the BMV so good that I didn't even get out and look. I knew I had that thing inside. And the man came up and said, you passed. All right, but let me get back on course. So, but that's some crucial things. Like I said, take time out. Like, if you struggling on something, tell them, hey, I can't get this. If that pre-trip is struggling and messing you up, hey, I need help. Speak up. Because if you don't, the days will go by so fast, and you still be stuck on pre-trip, and it's about to be week 3, and you don't want to be stuck on pre-trip in week 3. Week 1, you want to have at least half of that thing done and memorized. Like, literally, I could wake up in the morning and hear those words in my head. Properly mounted, secure. Properly mounted, secure. I could tell you all the parts right now. We can open the engine compartment and talk about the coolant reservoir, the oil filler, the air hoses and air lines, the air compressor. Like, I can tell you all that. It's embedded now in my head. It's embedded there. Like, it's probably written on my cells now. But yeah, like, after all, like, now completing all of that, now I feel like, oh, dang. Like, it makes you feel like, dang, I really did that. Like, I took 3 weeks of my life and crammed all this knowledge, and I know this stuff now. And now I'm ready to get on the road with the trainer and see what that's like. I'm praying that I'm paired with somebody who is cool. They're open to, I'm open to criticism. They're open to teaching. And I want to do all the driving. Let me do 90% of the driving. I know I might be a little slower than y'all, but I need to get my feet wet in this to make sure that I'm able to get every learning experience that I can. So that's how I've been coming into this. Like, you really have to have an open mind. You have to, and then you have to learn how to gel with people's personalities. Like, you're dealing with older people that's older than you. Like, my main trainer, I think he said he was 59. And that's around my mom's age. Like, okay, cool. They don't talk like you do. They don't think like you do. So you just gotta be open. And then the stuff that don't matter, let it roll off your shoulder. Let it roll off your back. Like, don't pay it no mind. You are there to get your CDL and walk up out of there. And that's what I had to remind myself. I'm here to get the CDL. And not only that, I'm not going nowhere until I get it. So when you come with that mindset, and lastly, it has to work, because I done quit my job after 7 years. I done quit my side hustles. I'm not teaching piano. I'm not playing at nobody's church. Like, I took all those things away to focus on it. So it has to work. And let me tell you, it has been working every step of the way, ever since I stepped out on faith and trusted God for believing, like, this is the next thing that I want to get into. He's been making it happen. Like, literally been making it happen. So has it been scary? Yes, it's been scary. Did I second think myself and be like, I don't know, did I do this too soon? Yes. That's human. That's human nature. This flesh, this brain is gonna overthink until it can't overthink no more. But you have to be able and have the power to silence those voices and say, nah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm stepping out on faith. I'm determined to reach this goal. And y'all, just like that, today, my official license is coming in the mail. I am so happy and proud of myself. But like I said, big points, key points, like I said, anybody can. I feel like, well, before I say that, this program is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Know the way you learn and process information. If you're not able to do stuff on a fly, and I know everybody has not went to college, if you've never been in those kind of arenas when somebody puts something in front of your face and you got to learn it, this might not be the right program for you. But not saying don't do trucking, but this program might not be for you. This program is for the person that says, I'm determined to get this and I got to get it. Like, literally, you might be up one night, you might not go to sleep one night trying to get this information. And that's kind of how this was. Like, I had my mom come over. She came over and I put these 10 pages of the pre-trip in front of her. I said, read this stuff off. Let me see if I got this. I remember I scanned the PDF. I scanned that PDF. I sent it to 2 people. We were on FaceTime going over it. Like, hey, let me make sure I got this stuff. So you have to put some determination in it. It's not going to just be thrown to you. They're not just going to hand it to you. And then not only that, I can understand them. Like, they don't want to look bad at the BMV. They ain't about to send you to the BMV and you can't pass. Now, of course, everybody gets test anxiety, but you got to learn how to calm your nerves. And you only really can calm your nerves if you are well prepared and if you are well equipped. Knowing this stuff boosts your confidence so you can be more at ease. It's like back in my day when I was preparing for a competition or piano, I was nervous, but I was less nervous about missing notes when I was prepared. If I know this piece, then I'm not really nervous about missing notes. I'm just nervous about parts starting out, getting up there, getting into it. But those nerves go back to the back burner because I've practiced, I'm well prepared. I done played this thing a million times in my sleep, and I'm prepared. Same thing for the tests. Being prepared for the driving, being prepared for the pre-trip, being prepared for the backing. Like, you got to put that time in. You got to put that practice in. And don't get mad if you need to stay over a little bit. And you can stay over. The program is from 7 to 5. If you need to stay to 7 o'clock, you can. They give you an access card. You can go up. I can go up there right now and just go up there and hang out. If I wanted to wash clothes, if I wanted to just hang out and look at the range, or probably even go talk to some of the instructors. Like, it's open to you. So if you need to put in the extra time on the weekend, maybe pull up and say, hey, find a friend, find a buddy, and be like, let's go over this stuff. You can really do that. And so I like that part of it. It's not like, oh, go home and come back and you got to figure it out on your own. Like, no, the resources are in place for you to learn. And if you want to learn, and that's the thing, if you want this, you can have it. So overall, I would recommend this program to a friend or anybody who's looking to get into the trucking industry. This one, they have a reputable thing about safety, and I like that. I hear it from the instructors. And like I say, the only thing, and it's not even a red flag, it might be a yellow flag. The only thing with me was the pay. Like, y'all talking about paying every week, and I'm like, why y'all talking about we get paid the 3rd week? No, I should get paid every week. But keep that in mind. I'm informing you now. Like, so you don't go in that blindsided thinking like, dang, where my check at? I just finished 1 week. No, you gotta finish 2 weeks and start on your 3rd. And they get paid every Thursday. And even in phase 2, you get paid, and that goes into a daily pay, which comes out to a weekly pay. But they're gonna hold 2 weeks and then they pay you. So I'm just like, and I kind of get why they doing it, because I'm pretty sure there's so many people that drop out. They be like, this ain't for me, I can't do it. And I get that. But what about the people that saying, you know what, this all I got, this gotta work. Like me, like this gotta happen. Like, I'm determined to get to the end and get out of training and get my own truck and do all of that. That's what I want to do. So pay me. And a job, that's the part of number one priority. Second priority, you want to be doing something that you like and that's rewarding to you. But number one, you're doing it for money. You're doing it for the income. So that matters. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to sign up to the program and get with them. Just make sure you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed. Before I end, let me talk about the third week. Third week, you're just studying. You're just going back over everything. You're doing pre-trip, offset, pre-trip backing, and driving. I will say every day gets easier. That's what I experienced. The routes, we even practiced the actual route that we would drive for the BMV. We did that. We practiced the weird turns that were in it. So that helped out a lot. That kind of broke down some of your nerves, because if you did it all the time, like, you just had to do it this one time and show yourself approved to the BMV instructor, examiner. So yeah. So let me see what else. I think that's it, y'all. And like I said, this is on the job. Sorry. This is on the job training. So at the end, this is not trucking school, so don't be expecting for them to have a party and give you a certificate. They will say congratulations, and they're going to be like, all right, cool, next phase. That's about it. So don't expect a certificate or anything. We didn't get that. I didn't get that. Your instructor will say congratulations and all of that. And like, that's it now. Okay, you with us. So you got your CDL, now you about to be a part. You about to be out there driving. But I have noticed, I've seen people with certificates online, and those are trucking schools. So that's the difference between a trucking school and you going with the company that has a program to get your CDL. I think they expect a little bit more. They might expect a little bit more because you're employed with them already. But I just want to, and lastly, I'll talk about the success rate. I think the success rate was pretty high for our class, with the exception, I think, of one person who didn't make it, who actually went home. There's one person that actually went home. And then I think there was one person that didn't pass. But everybody else, but like I said, by the second, third week, you kind of know what you're doing, and you're like, this is what I want to be doing. So you're going to work harder. You're going to be determined to get the information and learn as much as you need to learn. I didn't want this video to be super duper long, but it might be a little long. But I just wanted to explain how phase 1 went. Stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. I will most definitely continue to upload about my journey. Like I said, I'm getting into phase 2 this week. Once I get the call and it'll be official, I'll let you guys know. And I hope to get some footage in phase 2 to let you know how that's going. Thank you so much for joining me. Be blessed.